everybody, DeathsStalker here. Old man Tony's at it again, doing a vlog about a great topic. And although I left a comment in his comment section of his YouTube channel, I figured, yeah, I should talk about this as well, because the problem that British motorcycle racing has is exactly the same problem that we're having in North America right now, and that is the total lack of motorcycle racing on free television. Now, back in the 80s when I was racing, we actually used to get superbike racing and several other racing, like production and sometimes even the occasional Grand Prix racing televised, though not very often. And we used to have a ton of fans. Like, there used to be people that would come up and talk to you who were at the racetrack, and they were thrilled to meet you because they saw you on television. And you know, that was kind of cool from a racer's perspective, because you know, the diehards, they're always there, but just to have, you know, someone who saw you and then come up and see you and say, hey, really enjoyed this, it was like really cool. Unfortunately, in the early 1990s, we had a recession. It was a pretty darn big one. It affected all kinds of racing series, including motorcycles and car series. And because of that, a lot of the racing that was televised just sort of stopped. A lot of it was the racing series folded. Sometimes they reduced the schedule. You know, sometimes it was the TV stations that were showing it just weren't interested, or maybe they weren't getting the feedback from their fans saying, yeah, we want to see this stuff. And we have something on the road here. Yeah, it'd be a garbage bag. And attendance started dropping in racing. So when they used to get, you know, 15, 20,000 people show up for you know, a national race, I think nowadays they're lucky to get a couple thousand. It's not there. It's exactly what was going on, what Old Man Tony was talking about. It's going on in the UK. Now the Superbike, World Superbike's hurting. MotoGP apparently is doing well, except for, of course, this year, because it's 2020 and you're not allowed to have fans. But if you want to watch MotoGP, you have to pay for a streaming service, which is what I do. The Canadian Superbike Series, if they're on television, I haven't got a clue where they are. I do get to see them on YouTube. I watch them. They have their own YouTube channel, and about usually a week or two after the races, the you know, the delayed version of the races is there to watch, so I actually get to see it. You know, as much as I like to watch racing, you know, I've been at racetracks so much, I really don't have an interest to go to the track to watch, because I'm a lousy fan at the track. I enjoy it watching it from home, but it just does not seem to be there. And it really doesn't help too, the fact that, you know, we are motorcycle racing, even car racing for that matter, is not even a secondary sport in North America. It's like a fourth or fifth dairy sport. Like, there's most of the sports networks we have around here, you know, they talk about they're all sport, but in reality they're stick and ball. That's baseball, hockey, football, which is, you know, North American football. We call soccer what people in Europe call football. That's what you'll see if you're watching anything on a network. Like, you know, I can watch probably 500 or 600 basketball games if I was interested before I'd be able to see one even car race. And you know, when it's bad for the motorcycles, but like I remember, I think it was about 2 years ago that the Formula 1 race in Canada was preempted for a tennis tournament in England. So everybody in the world got to see the Formula 1 race except for people who live in Canada live. We got to see it delayed. You know, and I noticed even on in the U.S., like motorcycle racing is on some stations, but what happens, sometimes they get bumped to like Sports Channel 2 or Sports Channel 3 or 4 because there's something else being preempted, and of course unless you pay for the package you can't see it, and that hurts the fans, it hurts racers, it hurts sponsors, it hurts everybody. You know, what's the solution? I don't know. The only thing I can think of honestly is that if all the sporting organizations would get together, and if we were to have almost like a central streaming service where all motorcycle racing sports was being streamed from, so you could watch MotoGP, Superbike, American or British Superbike racing, you know, from one location, because at least that way you're only paying for one service. But everyone seems to be doing their own thing. It's not good in the long run, because you're looking at a situation where, like, especially you see it in Canada, North America, where we have no racers located in World Championships because the North American and Canadian services are racing series are not really being a feeder series. So you're not seeing, you know, racers going from, you know, Canadian national racing to the world level. You know, we have the occasional person here and there, but we've got some fantastic racers who just basically stayed in Canada. You know, you go to race in the American series, and it's, you know, and understandably so, the racing sponsors want to sponsor people in their own country. I've experienced that in my racing career and in another sport I was involved in many years later. You know, it's like they talk to you, hey, you know, where you live? You go, oh, Canada. They go, and you can actually see it in their eyes, like, oh, because they know they can't sell you. The Americans want to support Americans, which is totally understandable. Canadians want to support Canadians. So it's actually, you know, the sport as a whole is really hurting, and of course the sport itself is not cheap. You know, even sports like hockey, all the equipment and stuff you have to purchase, and ice time. You know, soccer or football, as they call it in Europe, is a heck of a lot cheaper to get one of your kids involved in, because there's playing fields everywhere, there's tournaments everywhere. The equipment doesn't cost you to mortgage your house, and you're also less likely to have your child die or get seriously injured. So I can understand why parents don't want to do that unless the kids really want to do it. So I don't know where we're going to end up. You know, we're going to have someone with a heck of a lot more brain matter than me to finally find a solution where we can have our racing series become more popular again. And I wish him luck, because I really like watching this stuff. So if you have any ideas, any comments, feel free to let me know, because it might make me feel better. DeathsStalker signing off.